Okay, go.
Today is June 7th, 2021. My ID number is 410-568-50. All right, now that we are in our small group, we're going to be working on, we're going to go over Shiloh, okay? This is the book that we just read. How many weeks did it take us? Remember how many weeks?
I think it took 3?
Maybe a little bit more. It took us at least since we've been in hybrid, huh?
No, it took us 4.
Did it take us 4 weeks? Well, we're completely done with it. So we are going to make sure that you guys really understood what the book was about, or at least the main points, right? A big part of reading is not just reading it, but comprehending. What does comprehending mean? What does comprehending mean to you?
It means
If you comprehend something, what do?
you memorize it.
Not just memorize it. You're on the right track there. What does comprehend mean?
You rewrite the
That's a strategy that we use for comprehension, but what does comprehending mean? If you comprehend something, you're what? You're understanding, okay? So that's why reading comprehension is important, because we don't want you to just read something. We want to make sure that you really understand what you're reading as well, okay? So reading comprehension is really important. We work, maybe you don't realize this, but we work on reading comprehension all the time. And there's a lot of strategies that we use that you started listing the strategies when you said we rewrite, we do things like that. Those are strategies that we do so that we make sure we comprehend. What is one thing that you can think of that we use every day? It's a reading comprehension strategy, and I have you guys do it every single day. What is it? Journaling. When you're journaling, you're retelling, right? You're summarizing. So retelling, summarizing, those are strategies that we use, okay? All right, what's another comprehension strategy that we do? Yes?
ask questions.
Asking questions, yes. You know how when we're reading and I pause and I ask you, why do you think this happened? Or what does he mean when he says this? That's when I'm asking you to see what you understood or what you can figure out based on what you read. So those are reading comprehension strategies, okay? I'm going to teach you another reading comprehension strategy today, and it's called a 5-finger retell. How many fingers do you have? 5. On one hand, you have 5, right? So we're going to be talking about the main parts of the story. And so normally, well, sometimes what I would do after we get really good at this is I would just ask you to tell me the parts. But so that you can really remember them, we're going to write them down for now, okay? So we're going to trace our hand and we're going to write the parts, but we're just going to talk about those parts, okay? So the first thing I want you to do, put your hand down on the paper, anywhere on the paper, wherever it fits, and you are going to trace your hand. It does not have to be perfect at all, as long as you can tell that you have 5 fingers. This is called a 5-finger retell. Okay? So, and the more, so with literacy footprints, the higher you go up in levels and the harder the books get. These things might change on here, so that way you're kind of challenging yourself a little bit more. But since this is our first one, we're going to start with just the very basics of a book, okay? So the first thing that we are going to do is our thumb is going to represent the characters. So we're going to write characters, and I'm going to write it down and stick it right there in between you guys so that you can see how to spell it. Yeah, they're going to write it right in the thumb, and I will show you on mine. And this is how you spell characters. If you're stuck, you are going to put characters on the thumb. You can see it, characters. Got it? So there's characters on the thumb. I'll wait until you're done, and then we're going to go on to the next one. We're going to label them all first, and then we'll talk about them, okay? This will be like this will be like our cheat sheet that we can stick on our desk or in our ELA notebooks. Perfect. All right, are you done?
Yes.
Okay, so that's going to represent the characters. What are characters? I'm not asking who they are. I'm asking what a character is. What's a character?
It's somebody who is in the story.
Yes, the people or the characters of the story, right? So the whatever, because we can't just say people, because it might be, in this case, who's the main character?
The dog.
The dog, right? So it might not just be a person, but it's a character. Whoever the book is about, or whoever's in it. Okay, the next one that we're going to write is going to be setting. What is a setting? What's a setting?
The place where.
The place. Yes, the place. So where it takes place. So we're going to put setting. setting. Here, put it right here. Setting. Setting.
This one.
Okay,
That's perfect. Very good.
Setting.
Okay, so, and we already said that's where it takes place. And then there's usually 3 major parts of a story, which is.
Can I say all 3?
Sure.
Okay. So first, middle, and end.
But another way to say it is. How do we say it?
Beginning.
Beginning. There we go. That's the word I was
Middle,
looking
and
for.
end.
So we're going to say character setting, beginning, middle, end. So it's going to be beginning.
capital?
It doesn't matter. You don't have to. Beginning. We're going to do beginning. Okay, I'm going to write it down on here. Is it easier? Beginning.
I was trying to put 2.
So it's going to be beginning. Beginning. And then the next one's going to be middle. Middle. So if we have beginning, middle, what did we say the last one's going to be?
End.
The end. All right.
Then spell middle right. MIDDLE.
That's perfect. Okay, so go ahead and give me a thumbs up when you're done with all of your fingers. And then now that you know what it is, we're going to actually talk about those parts of the story. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Okay. So from now on, we don't have to draw this every time, but I want you guys to just have it so that maybe it'll try to stick in your brain. Oh wait, hang on, we're not done just yet. You forgot your end. There we go. Middle. MIDDLE. Okay, so now that we all know what these are, what the different parts are, let's go ahead and talk about them. Who are the characters in Shiloh? We're gonna each list a different character, okay? Go ahead.
Okay.
Just
Shiloh.
one. Shiloh.
Marty.
Marty. Marty was the boy, right? The kid. He was kind of like the second main character.
Yes.
Judge Travers.
Who is Jeff Travers?
The man that kept on being mean to Shiloh because he wouldn't come back.
Right. So he was Shiloh's owner, and was he a good guy?
No.
He was a bad guy, right? He was really not nice. Who else is in the story?
The mom.
The mom.
Dad. The kid's sister.
The 2 little sisters. There were 2 little sisters, right? Dara Lynn and Becky.
I don't
So
know.
the 2 little, it was 2 little sisters, but he talks about one more than the other, huh?
Yeah.
And then if you guys remember, you might not remember, but if you remember, he also talked about his best friend,
Oh yes, I forgot his name.
David Howard.
Howard.
Remember?
Howard, yes.
Okay, so those are pretty much, there might be a couple of other characters, but these were the main ones, right? Okay, this setting, do you remember it was a very specific place that the story took place? Where was it?
The Hill Knights?
It was, you're very close. So it was the hills above a place called
Friendly?
Friendly. Very good. You were so right because nice and friendly are synonyms. Do you know what a synonym is? They mean the same thing. So that's why you got confused with nice and friendly. Did you see what he did? The place is called Friendly and he said it's nice,
Mhm.
right? So that's why you thought it was nice because it's a place called
Like-
Friendly. Yeah.
Like Selena's shirt says kindness.
Yes, that's another synonym, kind. See, you guys are not just getting the 5-finger retell today, you're getting a whole different kind of lesson. Synonyms. Synonyms are the same, the words that mean the same. Okay, so it is, you're right. The setting is a place, it's a hills above a place called Friendly. Okay, what happens in the very beginning of the story? Yes,
So he was walking.
who was walking?
Marty.
Yes, Marty was walking.
And on a rainy day, and he saw a dog,
Mhm.
Shiloh,
Mhm.
and he took it home.
And he took it home. Did his parents let him keep Shiloh? No. Who did they have to take it back to? It belonged to Judge Travers. So in the very beginning, so if I said, what are the characters? You guys already named all the characters. What is the setting of the hills above Friendly? And then we said in the beginning, Marty went for a walk. It started raining, and a dog followed him home, but his parents made him return it. They realized it was Judge Travers' dog. What happens in the middle? So they return the dog. What happens in the middle? Then the middle.
Shiloh comes back.
He comes back. Does he return him this time?
No.
What ends up happening to him?
He ends up getting hurt.
He ends up getting really hurt. Do you remember how he gets hurt?
By the dogs, the neighbor's dog.
The neighbor dogs attacks him, huh? Right? So the neighbor dogs attacked him, and then what do his parents make him do? Does he get to keep the dog already?
No.
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 They made him take him back to Judge Travers.
They made him take him back to Judge Travers. And then in the very end, so we're done with the beginning, the middle, and now we're on, beginning, middle, now we're on the end. What's the end?
Um,
He makes a deal, right?
oh yeah, he makes a deal about if he does the jobs for Judge Travers, Judge Travers, then he gets to keep the dog.
Then he gets to keep the dog. Does he end up keeping the dog in the end?
Yes.
He does, right? But does Judd make it easy for him?
No.
He gives him like the worst kind of jobs, right? Okay, so now this is a 5-finger retell. So if I tell you guys, like maybe we're gonna put it into groups with the next story we read, I might say now turn to your partner and do a 5-finger retell. You guys will be able to take this out and say characters, okay? I might tell everybody, hold up your thumb and tell everybody the characters. Then you're gonna know what we're talking about. Characters, setting, beginning, middle, and end. And this is a really good strategy because if you can do all of these things, you understand what you read, right? And reading comprehension is so important. So this is just going to be another strategy for you guys to use to help remember the main parts of a story. Because if you can remember the main parts of a story, you understood the whole story, right? And now it's not just words that you're reading, now it's an actual story that's coming together. All right? So I want you guys to keep these in a place somewhere safe so that we can use them next time we need them, okay? All right, thank you guys so much. You guys can go ahead.